What is up, guys? Welcome back to the modded career mode. We're in Belgium, and let's start it off with putting myself into the wall in qualifying and just absolutely wrecking the car. Now this, well, I like to blame the car first and foremost. Downforce is awful. At the same token, comparing it to the last race, we showed off how good the downforce is, so I can't quite blame that. But it's happened quite regularly in qualifying. I've struggled with qualifying as a whole. Sometimes just not making the cut. A few mistakes here. Silverstone springs to mind, where I ended up crashing in Q1 and not actually making it out. So something we need to work on for the coming seasons and stuff like that. Vettel on pole, the man who we are not impressed with in the slightest. Bottas second place, ahead of Leclerc and Hamilton. So pretty mixed first two rows. Obviously the third row is going to be the Red Bulls. Carlos Sainz P7, Kimi 8, Renault on 9th and 10th, Norris ahead of Magnussen, Stroll just ahead of Albon, there or thereabouts, Kubica in 15th place. That's a phenomenal job from him. Ourselves in 18th, because two cars behind us do have a penalty, which I believe is Romain Grosjean and Russell. Yeah, so George Russell, a Williams of all cars. So we're going to have to see what we can do from here. We're going to change our strategy. They wanted to put us on the super softs at the beginning, but we're going to go soft and then to super soft, just to maximise what we can do and see what we can achieve from plumb last in this grid. But it's going to be an interesting first few corners, as always is, and just like the last few races, we haven't got off to a great start. Russell actually gets past us, so we are plumb last, and Russell is just going to dive it down the inside, and he's going to get up to a great position. I believe he's, what, P10? So there's a Williams in the point currently. There's a William in the points, which at the moment, it could be more if he can get past the other car here, but it doesn't look like he can. So yeah, currently there's, well there was, we're about to get past him on the straight. But yeah, George Russell into P10, which is insane. Could you imagine if the Williams actually gets a point, especially around here? They've probably got their best chances. Really long straights and stuff like that. But yeah, moving on. Got P10 after Eau Rouge, and we're going to dive down the inside of, I believe that was Danny Rick, and we've got Carlos Sainz now just ahead of us in P8. So Vettel is currently building a really big gap with Leclerc ahead of the Mercedes and the Red Bulls, and we're going to see if we can pick off Carlos Sainz coming into turn 1 and we can get that job done really quickly. So what I noticed as well very early on in this race is our pace is really good, especially when the tyres are on. Our straight line speed advantage is phenomenal. We've got the best engine on the grid in terms of power unit and stuff like that. So it took a little bit longer than I would have liked to get past Kimi, but obviously they're having the same car. That's understandable, so we had to dive it into turn 1 to get past him. And you can see we now have a Red Bull not too far ahead of us, Pierre Gasly, who's struggling a little bit down here in P6, but I'm going to have a look. A nice little cheeky door open hit for us. We're going to take full advantage as we go up the inside of Pierre Gasly. So we're moving up really quickly, especially in these opening couple of laps. You can see we've got another slow Red Bull behind a Mercedes, and the door was very slightly open. Verstappen broke way too early, and we were a man on the mission after the frustration of qualifying. We could have easily won this race if we'd have been in the top 5, even top 6. Probably could have made pole position if we were lucky. So we're literally just going hell for leather at this point, making as much time as we can. You can see, look at the advantage we have in a straight line over that Mercedes. That was just insane how much speed we gained on Hamilton. Like, he might as well have been a Williams. Honestly, it was ridiculous how fast he was. There goes Bottas into the pit lane. But what we're going to do, we're going to stay out and hopefully get the overcut on Bottas, or maybe even a Ferrari. So all of them guys come onto the pit lane. Following lap, ourselves, we are going to come in as well. You can see on the mini-map, chances are we're probably not going to come out ahead of any of the Ferraris, but we're looking good to come out ahead of Bottas, which is, again, ideal. It's one less car we have to overtake, and then that would be a podium place. Last the podium, that'd be phenomenal. When I say last, technically it's last because we was 18th and we got overtaken, so we was last at one point. So we'll ignore the minor details. You can see we're coming out the pit lane as we're right at the end. Bottas is going into turn 1 now, and we have managed to jump Bottas, which is amazing. Almost crossed the white line. on the exit. Now this is us in the pursuit of one, maybe two of the Ferraris. Now I'll tell you what, this lap is probably one of the best laps I have ever driven on this game, like all year. Like, I was so dialed in to catching the Ferraris. I was just on autopilot, and it's a phenomenal lap, all things considered. Most of the apexes nailed, minimum speed through the apexes was great. It was just a fantastic lap. Even driving it, like, it felt like a really quick lap, and obviously going for the fastest lap, which is the one thing you want if you can't get a win. So you want to go for the fastest lap, and already for the first sector, purple by quite a margin. The fat ones, super softs, obviously help, fresh ones, and the car's getting light. The weather's getting better. It's all in our favour at this point. So we are chasing Leclerc, and we actually managed to bang on the wall a little bit, which surprisingly didn't damage us in the slightest. Little screen freeze here and there. That isn't going to slow us down in any means whatsoever. We're going to do what we can to catch up to Leclerc, as we're just going to pound around this incredibly long circuit. But we are just so frustrated with the last Grand Prix. It wasn't great, especially towards the end, and qualifying as well, like, really did ourselves dirty. Purple again, sector 2. We are looking mighty on this set of tyres. This is our first proper time lap. The first one was the out lap. Now this is the first one where we're really dialing in the Ferraris. Like, their gap is coming ever smaller, and you can actually see there just to the right, going through the start finish straight now, was Sebastian Vettel. So we are closing in on him as well. Leclerc's actually bringing us to him, which is helping us. And there we go. We absolutely smashed the fastest lap. As Leclerc is going to be a bit twitchy on the rear end as we come in close to him, because we have wheeled him in so much. And ironically, on the very same lap, about to start lap 10, the sun has started to come out, so the sun is shining on us, and we're going to go to the inside. Leclerc isn't going to fight us. He's just going to let us go down the inside. He knows there's no point fighting with fresher tyres. So Vettel is the man. We're going to have a look at a replay of us getting past Leclerc. Leclerc he doesn't want anything. He's not about it. Leclerc just lets us go. So thanks very much to him. Now Vettel, the guy who essentially ruined our race, last race, which was really frustrating. You can see on the bottom right, we are struggling on fuel. We're struggling on ERS. So ERS is better than fuel, of course, but it's not ideal. We are putting everything in we can to catch Sebastian Vettel, and you can see even coming through the bus stop chicane, took a bit too much curb, but we'll ignore that. That didn't happen. Not got DRS, which would have been so helpful as we come across the line to start the final lap. This is going to have to be an almighty lap to get past Sebastian Vettel. We're going to put everything up to 11 just to make sure we can do everything we can to get past, to maybe get an overtake this lap. Maybe the back straight is probably the best opportunity we have. We've got a little bit of a slide up the hill, which really isn't good for our tyres at least, but even with the DRS it's going to be incredibly tight to catch him. But in saying so, we are closing so fast on Vettel. We're just going to go defensive. We're going to go around the outside. Purple, we don't care about that. We're going to hold it around the outside of Sebastian Vettel, and that was a heart in mouth moment, because Vettel could have easily closed the door or parked it on the apex, which he's very good at doing that. I think as Hungary showed that, you can see we have to go all the way around. We actually bang with Vettel a little bit, and that compromises his exit as well as Leclerc's. But you know what, we really couldn't give a flying Ferrari. Like, he messed us up, we messed him up. Happy days. You can see clean around the outside and a little bit touchy on the exit, but other than that, fantastic overtake. That doesn't mean he's not going to come back at us. He's going to come back at us leading up to the bus stop chicane. He is literally side by side. We're not going to give him the room. We're really not. We really can't be bothered with his crap. We're going to come across start finish line now to win, and we run out of fuel, which was quite lucky for us, but we managed somehow with the pace we've got on this car. This car is so incredibly strong. I'll be surprised if we don't win Monza, then that's just a disgrace. To be honest with you, it'll be a disgrace. But Alex Gillen just clapping his hands, as is Leclerc. Even Vettel's giving a little clap to us, which he probably should. But that was an intense race, guys. It was really difficult to catch back up to them, but managed to do it, of course. And time to look at the standings. The standings is the last thing we need to double check on. You can see Vettel is now ahead of Hamilton, and Ferrari have got more of a gap to Mercedes. But Italy's going to be fun. See what happens there. Until next time, guys. Bye bye.